intensive farming of animals didn't exist really until after the Second World War. Something has to be done about the intensive farming of animals, because if the population of the world does get to 10 billion, the Chinese get richer, the Indians and people in other developing countries get richer and demand proteins, and particularly animal proteins in their diet, the world is heading towards even more catastrophe than it's heading for at the moment. So we have to do something about it. And as so often, human ingenuity and science have come to the rescue. And today, we are on the cusp of a very major revolution in terms of the food that we produce. This wave of change is starting with plant-based proteins, and there are plenty of companies that we will be familiar with, such as Beyond Meat, Impossible in the United States, Oatly, which recently, the Swedish company, which recently went public in the US and now sports a $10 billion US valuation on the stock market. And those plant-based proteins have taken off in the last 10 years or so and accelerated in the pandemic because actually they taste quite good. They're not like the old vegetarian cardboard diet of 20 years ago. They are pretty good, if not necessarily better for you in terms of health. They're certainly better for the planet. And as an example, plant-based milks like almond milk, oat milk, and so forth now have perhaps a fifth of the US milk market and are accelerating in terms of their capture of that market. And the same sort of figures apply here in the UK. The next wave is cellular agriculture, and the wave after that, or the wave concurrent with that, is the picks and shovels that go up to make cellular agriculture.
That was a quick clip by Jim Mellon of Agronomics. If you want to see the whole clip, links in the description, where he talks about cellular agriculture and the different innovations coming in food tech. Worth a good watch. Today I want to look at Steakholder Foods. They've been around for quite a while, and I've known about them for quite a while, but I've kind of written them off, so to speak, because I didn't think that 3D printing was going to be a major part of the production line for cultivated meats. Now, recently, they're starting to get on my radar. I'm not investing in them. I'm just sticking with Cult Food Science, but I think they have some interesting technologies, and that now they might have the potential to go somewhere, because really when we think about cultivated meat, we're looking at producing billions and hundreds of billions of pounds, and I don't know if 3D printing technology is even applicable. Do we even need it to create the right textures? But if we do, they're doing some interesting things. So I just want to go through a couple of videos. We have cultivated meat companies, but then we have the picks and the shovels, the actual production equipment. How do you build the supply chain? How do you build the equipment and the manufacturing capacity to actually make cultivated meat? So if 3D printing is something that's going to be part of that supply chain, this is so far the only company I've found that looks like they're actually trying to make large industrial scale 3D printers.
בעצם מדפסת תעשייתית שפיתחנו, שמיועדת להחליף משחטה. לשאלתך לפני כן, פה אנחנו טוענים את המדפסת הזו בתאי גזע, שאנחנו יודעים למיין לשריר ולשומן, והיא יודעת להדפיס טונות ביום. טונות? טונות של בשר מתורבת ביום. זה רק לשם ההמחשה, אתה תוכל לבחור את הסטייק שלך, והמדפסת תתחיל לשחרר סטייקים בקצב תעשייתי. סירליון, אני לא יודע אם אתה אוהב יותר שומן או פחות שומן. באמצע. view order, slide to print. ופה בעצם המדפסת מתחילה לייצר סטייקים. סטייקים, הייחודיות פה היא שתאי הגזע נשארים חיים אחרי שהם מודפסים. סטייק יהיה מוכן בסביב הדקה.
דקה?
דקה. השלב פה הוא שווה ערך לשלב שבו הפרה נולדת בעצם. הפרה לוקח שנתיים עד שהיא נשחטת, היא מזהמת את העולם בתהליך, פה זה תהליך שהוא הרבה יותר קצר.
בלי שטח, בלי מים ובלי
בלי
כוח.
שטח, בלי מים, בלי חתימה פחמנית.
בלי פליטות, בלי כלום.
בלי פליטות ובלי כלום.
איפה הסטייק?
הסטייק עכשיו מודפס, ועכשיו אנחנו נעבור
זה המקדונלדס של העתיד.
כן, כן, זה המקדונלדס, זו הקצבייה והמשחטה של העתיד.
פאסט פוד.
וההפתעה פה בעצם, אנחנו משיקים היום גם את המדפסת הזו, שהיא סמי-תעשייתית, ובואו נעבור למדפסת השנייה.
Now, when I first heard about Steakholder Foods, they were creating very small-scale prototype 3D printers, and my thought was, well, if you're only going to print a steak in a few minutes, there's no way you're going to be able to scale that technology. Now, this last clip where they unveiled this first version of their industrial 3D printer, this was 3 months ago, and so I've now started to have a little bit more interest in the company just because, well, if this is their first version, are they going to get a larger version? Can they print? Like, they're talking about 1 minute per steak, a ton of meat per day. They're scaling their 3D printing technology. I think that's pretty cool. If they can get to this stage, they might be able to get even larger printers. Now, there are a number of companies that are starting to experiment with their technology. One of them is Umami Meats. They're a cell agriculture company based in Singapore, one of the Cultivated Science portfolio companies, and they have partnered with Steakholder Foods to print their grouper. So let's take a look at that. Now, Steakholder Foods is a public traded company, so feel free to invest in them if you want to. Not financial advice. I'm interested in for the technology and just to keep watching them to see where this all goes.
My name is Ari Kaufman, co-founder and CEO of Steakholder Foods. At the time when we founded the company, we wanted to make a true impact on the world. So we aimed as high as possible. We aimed to 3D print steaks. The computers that were involved in the man reaching the moon were less capable of an iPhone computer that we are holding in our hands. So if we were able to achieve that, we can produce meat in a different and more sustainable and more technological advanced way. We understood directly that in order to replace meat with a different alternative product, you need meat. You don't need something that mimics meat, that tastes like meat, you need meat. Cultured meat is a way of creating meat products without having animal being involved in the process. We do collect the stem cells from an animal without hurting it, but all of the rest has nothing to do with an animal. We are growing the cells, and that's exactly what our engineering and biological team does here.
I'm Diana. I'm from the biology team. Our team grows large amounts of stem cells to produce high-quality bioink. The first stage is the isolation of stem cells from different sources like umbilical cord or fat and muscle tissues. On the second stage, we take those stem cells and grow them in bioreactors to obtain large amounts of cells. The most incredible thing is that these stem cells can differentiate in an exponential rate, meaning that one cell divides into 2, then 4, then 8, and 16, and so on, until we get billions of cells. That's amazing. We collect the cells from the bioreactors. We introduce it into the bioinks, which are edible compounds. And here we transfer the bioink with the cells to the engineers.
שמי שחר, אני מהנדס מכונות במחלקת ההנדסה. מה שאני עושה זה לתכנן ולפתח את המדפסת התלת-ממדית. בשלב הראשון יש לנו את שלב התכנון של המודל התלת-ממדי, של הצורה של הסטייק. אז בעצם אנחנו שולטים באחוזי שומן ובאחוזי שריר שיהיו של הסטייק, שזה מאוד נחמד, גם אתה קובע את הצורה שלו בעצמך. בסופו של דבר, כשאנחנו מגיעים לאיזשהו דיזיין טוב, אז אנחנו מעלים את זה למדפסת שלנו. השלב השני זה בעצם לקחת את הדיו הביולוגי עם התאים עצמם. התאים עצמם גדלים, וזה נורא מגניב לראות את זה בסוף הופך להיות סטייק שאפשר לאכול אותו. השלב שאותי מעליב זה דווקא לתכנן את הצורה של הסטייק, ואז לראות אותו באמת מודפס כפי שאני תכננתי אותו.
After the printing, we take the product back and put it into the incubator for about 2 weeks, in which the cells mature to their final form, a premium steak that is ready to cook.
One day I hope to eat steaks with my family, with the fact that I know that no animal was harmed in the process. I believe that this day is soon.
Welcome to the Mecca of meat in Tel Aviv.
Thank you very much.
We have a butcher shop, we have a restaurant, we buy whole animals, but I feel this thing is not going to go on forever. Now know that the world cannot withstand the cost of this industry. So in my eyes, you are the solution and the future. And I'm looking forward to the point in time that I can deliver your produce.
I think that the moment is nearby, will be sooner than one expects.
I think that's amazing, and I'm looking forward to taste it
Soon. I'm grateful for every day that I have the chance to be part of this revolution. And it's challenging. I cannot say that everything is perfect, but as long as we are advancing, then I see the right pathway. We want to change the world, we really do. We want our children to live in an environment that is sustainable. I truly believe that the next generation won't give us another choice.
Let me know in the comments below if you think that 3D printing is going to be an integral part of the meat production supply chain in the future. I'm Chris. We'll catch you in the next video.